It's the motherfucking player haters. Oh, yeah.
Player haters.
What's up, everybody? Let's get right into it. I came home super fast, took off my reflective vest, and said to myself, it's podcast time. Dinner's cooking in the background, but the people want the podcast. And it's 7:19, and I'm usually trying to have this thing squared away before then. So, without further ado, let's get right into this motherfucker, because I actually sent the wife earlier today some points that I wanted to discuss on this podcast. So let's get into it. Shall we? Week 5 came and it went. And it did not disappoint in terms of, well, our matchup of the week was a huge dud. And remember, I don't go by what Yahoo stole from me as the matchup of the week. We'll talk about the one that they dubbed, which was mine and Jesus's. But the one that I dubbed the matchup of the week, which, by the way, is way more important than what Yahoo says, was a total turd bottom shit show. And it honestly didn't even really provide that much fodder. I think both Walker and Eric kind of just shit the bed. Like, this is supposed to be entertaining. And I was not entertained. Speaking of which, let's just go right into it. Eric, 10-0. Gross. Did you have anything in you other than Walker shoving it up your ass? I mean, let's look at it from a broader, let's look at it a little bit better. All right, so you lost by 5 runs. Okay. You lost by 4 home runs. All right. You lost by 17 ribbies, 6 stolen bases, 0.041, 41 on the average. That was some good math for you. And 0.064 on the OBP. So you lost every single batting category. And then in the pitching side, well, you got destroyed by 13 strikeouts. You lost by 3 wins. You tied in quality starts. Good job. And you tied in save plus holds. Good job. Your ERA was respectable, but I think last week all of us had a terrible ERA, except for Christopher Walker. Congratulations. The best pitching squad out there had the best ERA of the week. Yippee! Nobody gives a fuck, Walker, but you. And you're like, yeah, obviously. I mean, and my ragtag bunch of group of people, you know, Mike Trout and Murakami, and then, Mickey Moniak, just a ragtag bunch of people, just grab them up in the bottom 20 rounds and lower. Yippee! Sell. Sell them all, baby. Sell that Murakami, because you know what? Every expert out there is saying, looks kind of like Joey Gallo. We know you love some Joey Gallo. You know, you probably snuck off into a library and took out 1 or 2 for Joey. I don't know what the whole gesture, why I keep just going here for that, okay? But, yeah. Anyways, but let's give a shout out, man. If it weren't for Drake Baldwin, holy balls, man. I mean, I will give you kudos there. Not that, he wasn't the, Rookie of the Year last year. Ooh, I picked the Rookie of the Year last year, and he's doing great things this year. Dude. Yeah, whatever. Shut up. Look, you got an okay team, okay? Obviously, but let's look on the flip side. Junior Caminero, congratulations. You didn't even draft him, and he's your best player. Jordan Walker, the shine has wore off, my boy. Kyle Tucker checking in on Kyle Tucker. Where is that fucker? But I will say, you know what? Because Suzuki is, he's riding like a 95 Suzuki right now. Ride that bitch, okay? Wonder if Suzuki has any actual stock in Suzuki, the car manufacturer. I don't know. But anyways, there you go. Has Kyle Stowers done, anything? No, I didn't think so. All right. Mookie Betts is coming back. He's celebrating that. He's happy about it. Who you got pitching wise? Reed Detmers. Come on, man. We've tried this before. All right, everybody has. Reed Detmers is not the answer. Okay. Shane McClanahan. Kudos to him. We all know you got Mason Miller. You sold. And by the way, just for those of you that aren't aware, the whole thread that was going down today in the chat between myself, Shane, and then a little. Okay, Eric, this is you. Okay. Well, if you look at his numbers, and you say to yourself, you know what? He was drafted 13th overall. And if you go ahead and you make this pick, I'll go ahead and swing a ding dang at you, and maybe I'll take care of the dishes for a few weeks. If you just say to yourself, Xander is, well, he's what you want. And if you look at it, Miami, they're hitting pretty good. And you start throwing these little tidbits of stats and everything, and then all of a sudden, we're all buyers. Like, holy shit. Yes, I will buy your ketchup popsicle stick while I'm wearing my white fur coat. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm all about it today. I am kind of tired. I've been up since 3:45 this morning. Drove from here to Georgia, from Georgia back to here, worked. Eric knows the drill. Yeah, kudos to 14 and a half hours of working. All right, moving on. Luis Castillo sucks. You have the Castillo Cantillo. Sounds like a law firm that nobody goes to because they suck. Why'd you drop Emilio Pagan, man? He's like a relief pitcher that, is out there. Anyways, I spent way too much time on the matchup of the week, but I just wanted to bring up the fact that, what a dud. Not what you want from your matchup of the week. Eric, do better. All right, moving on to the other matchups. Let's look at these real quick. Come on, refresh there. Refresh. Here we go. I probably have too many windows open. You know what? While it does refresh and go on, let's talk about a few things, shall we? Okay, good job. We're back. So there were a couple of people that were added over this previous week, and whenever we get there, we'll get there. We're gonna get there. Okay. Hi-ya-ya. Hi-ya-ya. Let's talk about a few of them that were added that gave like immediate results. Okay. Like I'm talking like they added them like the same day, and some things happened for these people. And I also would like to point out that, you know what, Jesus, even though you tied, I saw what you were doing there with your Moises Ballesteros. You thought that that boy was going to come on your team and do special things for you. And fuck you, bro. He rode the bench because let me explain something to you out there, okay? Look at the game log. Okay, it's called a little helpful hint. And if you notice a trend of how many games a player, not just a catcher, but a player is playing and being benched, might be giving you a little thing called a clue. I'm just going to say that. If he's playing like 4 or 5 games in a row and then gets a bench day, and then you want to go pick him up, might want to check, is that day going to be a bench day? Okay. Nope. Yes. No. Anyways, how about old Josh Jung helping out old Rah Rah? She picked him up and then gave her, I believe, a home run. Yeah. No. Yeah, I believe she picked him up on April the 25th, and then boom. Quietly, probably going to be one of those guys that Eric would just like talk a lot about. Josh Jones got a lot of pedigree, and if you looked at what he did. So there you go. That's another, He's not on Eric's team right now, but if he does actually end up on Eric's team and does well, gives a little hot streak. Well, another one, Kumar Rocker. Now, he didn't actually do all the things that she was looking for him to do, but we're going to get into this in a second, what it ended up happening in that matchup between Nick and Ray. Wow. All right. But Kumar Rocker got picked up, did some pretty good things. How about Forrest Foster Griffin? Immediate results. Dropping Emilio Pagan wouldn't have been exactly what I would have, thought to do. But wow. Okay. Spencer Torkelson, home runs next day, or same day, whatever. Okay. So these were some pretty good things. So I got to say, I'm really a fan of this new platform that we are living in, this new world of like picking up and they are activated the same day. I like it, okay? But I also hate it because it's only 4 times you can do that shit. And if you're like me, like this morning, yes, I had to wake up at 3:45. I wasn't like waiting to pick up this, outfielder for the Athletics. Like I had to have him. No, I was just up this morning and went ahead and grabbed him. But what I'm getting at is like, it kind of sucks the whole like I I want to do the whole like, ooh, I'm feeling pretty good about this player today. And you know what? I got an outfielder spot. So, anyways, whoo, can y'all tell I'm just on it right now? I'm going crazy. So, we'll see what is gonna happen. Let's get back into the matchups, shall we? Let's get back there. Let's see if this page is gonna finally reload for us. Week 5. There we are. Torture Baseball Department and Agents of Chaos went at it 6-4 for this tortured baseball guy. Tortured Baseball Department, obviously, we all are aware of what happened in the world of baseball with the Boston Red Sox. You win 17-1, you lose your job. I love the narrative of it's the manager's fault. I love the fact that the manager is the one that goes out there every game, and pitches and hits the ball and catches the ball. And I love that it's always the manager's fault. It's the manager's fault. It really is. It really is not. It's the players. What is the manager doing? I don't know. What does he need to do? What's the clubhouse like? I don't know. But do we really think that because Cora leaves that, oh, I don't know, Duran is somehow going to be a nicer guy and be a better player on the field? Was it Cora that traded away Rafael Devers? I don't think so. Uh, Now, obviously, it goes back to last year, that whole clubhouse and the atmosphere that was there. Is Roman Anthony going to turn it around and start being the rookie that he was last year? Are all these pitchers going to start pitching better? I don't know what Ranger Suarez is going to do tonight, but I have a feeling it's not going to be good for me. If you know the fact that I have Ranger. So, I mean, whatever. Let's get back into this. Torture Baseball Department went off on Brian 6-4. It wasn't, whatever. Again, moderate low ERA of 3.99, but 4.03, very close there. 75 strikeouts. This is obviously Jason's numbers, but on the flip side, on the other end of the batting stats, it was a toss up. 32-30, 31-24, 12 home runs for Jason. Shane Langeliers came back around. Max Muncy of the Dodgers came around. Trey Turner. Everybody started contributing to this roster that is Jason's. And Brian, unfortunately, cannot keep up with the power. Ellie De La Cruz gave him most of what he had for last week. Those that followed just did not do very well. Again, Jared Duran, Cody Bellinger, Ramon Laureano, Brian Reynolds, just to name a few. How about Ozzie Albies? Just quietly one of the best second basemen out there. He's ranked 56 right now, but he's got some pretty good stats. Okay, good talk. Pitching wise for these two gentlemen, Saki is not doing very well. Yamamoto, Everybody ever realize that Yamamoto's just, I mean, he's like hit or miss, but look at Nolan McLean. I mean, I will say this, Jason, and I know you want to hear this because I too really want to hear this. This might be your year, bro. I know how much you wanted it. I know you want that Franklin, okay? This might be your year, bro. This might be your year. I know. Don't jinx you, but got some pretty good pitchers out there. You got a pretty solid lineup. Granted, some of the people on there are a little bit older. Randy Rosarena, Brendan Nimmo, Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner. A little old, but you're mixing some new in there. Shaling Lears, Ben Rice, Weatherholt. I like it. And Joe Adell's turning it around too. All right. Let's keep going. Last week we saw Benchwarmers face off against Mandalorians. Benchwarmers took the L 7-5. Scott's got a team. I told Shane over the weekend, I really feel like that Scott, though he's quiet in the chat, he's a fucking villain in the shadows as well. He's got himself a pretty good little team there. Obviously, drafted, Aaron Judge first overall, but I mean, I feel like that he's very active and paying attention to these players that are maybe something like Dalen Lyle. He was dropped by Eric, I believe. Bo Bichette might be able to turn it around. Nick Kurtz heating up a little bit. Adley Rutschman, but I mean, he's going out there and he's active. Okay, I like the pickup of the Chase Dolander. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, he's a Colorado pitcher, but I don't know, man. He's doing some pretty cool things. I don't like the Mitch Keller, Jeffrey Springs on him. Those are some glaring, but he's got Cam Schittler, Jose Salazardo, pretty good things going on there on Mr. Scott's team. And he takes the win 7-5 over the, I've got 5 rings or 7 rings, Josh, whatever, Josh. Congrats for you. Why is that not loading quickly? I got 13 minutes. Let's go. And week 5, there we are. Trippin' Billies and show me your tatis. Well, we all know, if you paid attention to the thread, this was a midweek trade between these two gentlemen. Ashton had enough of Ronald Acuna. Said, get him off my team. I don't want him. I want a starting pitcher. I put it out there in the chat and told him via text, or I shared my text message with the group. I can't remember exactly, but Shane will definitely bring it up because he wants to bring me to a kneel and bow to this argument that he has. When I bring up, and if anybody out there wants to, I don't know, maybe throw some support my way and say, Casey's actually got a point. You are always saying this. When myself and Ray make a trade and it seems like it's more for me, less for her, and then the question comes up, would you make this trade if you were on the other end? So Shane, I ask you, would you make the trade that you made with that boy? And the answer that I have yet to receive is, I believe, 2 letters and not 3. If you know your English and also your Spanish for that word. Because it ain't C, it's no. No, you would not have made that trade. No, you would not have taken Max Fried for Ronald Acuna. Straight up, now tell me, do you really want to shut the fuck up? No, you would not. No, you would not. So because I said to this young player who clearly, Eric, does not know baseball. He knows baseball, but he doesn't understand fantasy baseball, in my opinion. This is not a fast-paced race. This is a marathon, and I have taken many of years to learn patience. Okay? This kid is coming in there fucking hammer fisting, wanting to make a trade, get rid of one of, if not the best outfielders in our game. So he's off to a slow start. We can equate that to so many things. But what we can also look at is the overall metrics of what Ronald Acuna is doing. He's hitting the ball. He's getting on base. He's doing all the things that everyone that has projected him as being a top flight guy, he's doing it. What's the problem? Okay. It might be just bad luck. It might be the weather. There's so many other things that can play into the factor. And it's just one of those things where even the Braves have not wavered. You're still batting first. They haven't taken their eye off of Acuna as the prize. I can tell you what they have done with one player, Austin Riley. That motherfucker started the season off batting fourth. You know where he's batting now? Sixth. You know where he's probably going to be batting before the season is over? Ninth, because he ain't doing shit. But Ronald Acuna is telling everybody else, I'm putting you on notice. I'm still fucking here, and I'm still fucking going to do this shit. I don't give a shit that Max Fried is a ace on the fucking New York Yankees. He pitches once a goddamn week. If you're fucking lucky, Ronald Acuna will go out there 5-6 games and put up fucking stats. You would not have made this trade, bar none. Why did I say Scooble, Skeens, or fucking Garrett Crochet? For one fucking big reason. Because those three names right there will flip a bitch and get you better results, number one. Or if you wanted to turn and say, I need a player, I need players, I could turn Scooble right now, even with how shitty of a job he is doing, into two fucking possible number two pitchers. You would not get that from Max Fried. No, sir. And I'm supposed to just be like, oh, he was number fourth in the league last year. Dude, every one of the fucking stats that I pulled up on that boy and put it in that fucking thing, guess what happened? Max Fried was way down here. All you did was pull up the fucking wins. He plays for the fucking Yankees, dude. The Yankees, okay? They never had a team that was just the fucking Colorado Rockies, okay? Okay? Never. So don't sit there and just make me a martyr and say, oh, well, you said, why do I have to offer him? All I was saying was, if you want to trade Ronald Acuna, this is who you should be getting. And yes, I offered Cole Reagans. Again, what I was saying earlier about baseball. Everybody out there, go to Cole Reagans right now and see his ownership percentage. See what the experts are saying. See what the expectations are. You know what? I'll even go a step further and click on my own fucking team and scroll down and click on the motherfucker and give you what he started out looking like. Okay, so he went to Atlanta, hot offense, first game of the season, 4 innings, 9 runs, but he got strikeouts. Then he went to Minnesota, 8 strikeouts, gave up no runs, win 6 innings, got a quality start. He plays for the Kansas City Royals that are struggling right now offensively. Talk to Josh. He'll let you know how much they're struggling. Then he goes to Cleveland. Pull up the video. He's pitching, comebacker, hits on his pitching hand, his thumb. Okay? So, where does he play? Where's the next game? At Detroit. Does anybody know what happens at this time of year up in the north? Well, at one game, I'll just throw that out there, in the Colorado Rockies, it was snowing. It's fucking cold. All of us out here, if you get, I don't know, a bruise or maybe a 98-mile-an-hour comebacker on your thumb, do you think that the cold might actually play a little bit into like how much you grip and what you do with the ball? No. That's why the next game when he pitched against Detroit, even though he only got 1 strikeout, he held him to nothing. Nothing. And then the next game, he was still lingering issues, 14.54. But he was all over the place for that Detroit matchup. And he had a 40.50 on the Cleveland. But he still went out there and pitched one hell of a game in Detroit. And in New York, it was also cold that day. Kind of like, when I go outside and it's cold and I got a little wiener. But then he goes out against the Los Angeles Angels. Granted, I'm not an idiot. I know what their roster is. They got a high strikeout rate. They got 11 strikeouts. But he did what you're supposed to do as a pitcher. Now, will I say that, you know what? He's got some fucking, proven to do for the next 2 or 3 matchups. But the experts and a lot of other motherfuckers out there believe that this guy has the potential to be something. And that wasn't the only fucking pitcher I offered to that boy. I offered him another one. Okay. And then I went a step further and offered him Austin Riley. And I was going to ask for him back. I believe it was Matt Chapman. Sir, what's Ashton? I don't remember what I offered you, but yeah, that's all I'm going to say. And I need to wrap this up because I'm hungry and I had a few other talking points, but the trade heard around the world. That was the notes that I put in there. And I made it around the world. I made it a big deal, yes, because of the one fucking repeated fucking fact that always gets thrown in my fucking face is the trades that I make with my wife. And that trade right there, in my opinion, nixes everything that you've ever fucking said about me, ever. There is no world that Ronald Acuna, whereas 1 year he is like an 8.6 WAR, and fucking Max Fried has only ever had a 5.8, and that was last year. Don't fuck with me, man. 95 games is how much fucking Ronald Acuna played last year. 95 games, he had a 4.8 WAR. On the other side, Max Fried had a 5.8. If you don't know what WAR means, that means wins above replacements. That means that the motherfucker that was playing that day, the game that he was pitching in, that he was a factor in them winning. A 5.8, while Ronald Acuna was a 4.8, and he only played 95 games. Don't sit there and tell me that you would have made that trade, because I guarantee you wouldn't. Speaking of ads or whatever, Peyton Tolley, must-watch baseball. I'm glad that he's on my team, but I watched the first thing that he did. I thought it was super fun. Just watching him grunt every time that he would make a pitch. I really feel like that he's kind of the next big thing, but he's playing for Boston right now, and they're in disarray, and their manager, he's shitty. I also brought up, man, there are some teams out there, my Braves included, that struggle with the ABS system. Dude, I don't know if you guys watch any of the Brave stuff, but that Jonah Heim, you suck, dude. You fucking suck so bad. Stop doing this shit. You fucking suck. I mean, 6 inches outside of the strike zone, and you're like, it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. You suck. Stop tapping the top of your head. And he does it like in the first fucking inning. That a way to just ruin it, dude. Like, just, this is supposed to be a strategy. You're supposed to be able to use these things and use them almost correctly. But my God. And dude, let's just go ahead. We'll talk about our matchup really quick. I know I'm running out of time, but Jesus, you're not fucking pulling those numbers that you did last week. Yeah, we tied 6-6, but those fucking numbers that you put up, bullshit. Get the fuck out of here with that. I'm not going to have enough time to actually. Did I go through everything? Oh, yeah, shout out. I got to say this real quick. Ray, you fucking did it. You flipped the goddamn script on that, and I fucking loved it. You were losing going into Sunday, and not only did you flip the score, you gave him a 1 dot. Shorty got low. He got low with 1 point. 9-1. Go Rayford Peaches. Here we go real quick. Rapid fire. I got minute 12. Matchups going on this week. Myself versus Shane. You know what? The gloves are off, bitch. It's me and you, sucker. I'm so fucking sick and tired of losing to your ass. And I know it's going to happen again, but I'm fucking over it. Me and you are the matchup of the week. We already started it, but here we go. Bench Warmers is facing off against Ashton. Ashton, good luck with Max Fried. Okay. Shorty got low versus Rally Monkeys. This is another. I'm going to give it the matchup 1.4 or whatever. You're the secondary one. because I love that bullshit that you and Nick talk. Mandalorians is facing off against Brian. Ray is going against the number one team in the league in Jason. And Eric and troubleshooters, Jesus, you know what? Eric, I'm going to go ahead and call it. You're winning this bitch. You want to know why? Because the fucking offense that boy put up against me last week ain't happening again. Let me tell you, I'm putting it down. That's it. I got 15 seconds more to go. What else I got? Oh, yeah, something happened. Chris Davis had 4 seasons where he batted .247.
It's the motherfucking player.